race for promotion over in the Championship is still anybody's guess, with Leeds United and Sheffield United currently sitting in the automatic spots. But this coming weekend could see the change at the top of the table. What am I talking about? I'll tell you all about it next. That's right, folks, back once again with another prediction video today. It's all about Matchday number 18. That's right, coming at you over in the Championship, and we'll get to it in a second. If you're new, where you been? Smash the old subscribe button, your one-stop shop for Blackburn Rovers, Championship football, world football. We're going to all hear under one rooski. That's right. Of course, Leeds are top with the Blades right on their curtails at that moment. But Burnley or Sunderland could both overtake them this coming weekend. Meanwhile, the race for promotion via the playoffs is also hot to bloody trot. We'll take a look at all of that and more in a second. Of course, big shout out to the members. You know who you are. And a big shout out to the Patreons. You know who you are. But before all that, we're going to recap the results from this past midweek. Kick on forward to the next round of games. Alrighty then, folks, let's take a look back at those last round of games, and here they are, of course, as you see. Pretty sexy from me on the old prediction leagues, and we'll showcase you what this means over in the Super Pre in just a second. Burnley with a big 2-0 win over Coventry. Good job for them. Of course, Coventry on the verge, if not already, confirmed the hiring of Frank Lampard to come in, try and turn it around for Coventry. Hull City also sacking their coach, Tim Waltner, is no more. Who, of course, will take up the reins for Hull. Of course, Borough this weekend, Blackburn next. They're going to have probably a new manager bounce by that point. They're going to be taking on Sheffield Wednesday, though, this coming weekend. They just took on Sheffield Wednesday this week, and they lost. Meanwhile, Norwich, they put 6 past Plymouth Argyle this past midweek as well, to get themselves back into the thick of things. The Blades, 3-0 winners over Oxford, as predicted. Stoke and Preston also duked it out to a 0-0 draw, as I called it. I also called the Watford victory over Bristol City and the Sunderland and West Brom draw. Into Wednesday's games, Leeds United over Luton. Called it, lads. Absolutely called it. What I didn't call, though, was Cardiff losing at home to QPR, and Rovers picking up a cheeky, I dare say cheeky, 1-0 away win against Borough. Meanwhile, Portsmouth against Millwall, postponed, back-to-back postponements now for Portsmouth. One, of course, on our watch, and of course one on your own watch. And Derby lost at home to Swansea to give a bit of clarity to Derby at the moment. But anyway, let's take a look at the table. It looks a little bit like this. As you see it, Leeds United are top. They are on top with 35 points. Sheffield United also alongside with 35 points. But don't forget, they did have a 2-point deficit because of some shenanigans off the field. Burnley, though, within striking distance. Sunderland within striking distance. Then a bit of a gap between Watford and Borough in the playoffs right now. West Bromwich Albion are 7th. Rovers are there in 8th. And also could be in the playoffs if we were to do the unthinkable this weekend. Meanwhile, all the way down the foot, it is Portsmouth, it is QPR, it is Hull. Portsmouth need to get their act together and fast, but QPR, big win for them. Can see them get out of the drop zone this weekend and bring in the likes of Coventry, Oxford, Preston and Plymouth this weekend if it goes their way. Meanwhile, over in the Super, bro, look at me. I'm right there in second spot, 16 points this past weekend. Absolutely fantastic. But I got beaten by the poacher, where Cookie Jack Army there with 17 points. He absolutely nips me in the arse right there. Borman's hot on the heels as well. Xanders, Monty Chops as well. The rest of the gang. If you see your name in there, please smash that old subscribe and smash the old like. Did the Pete get in there with his picks? There he is. Oh, he must have had a day off. Pete not feeling the heat. That's right. Coming at you over in the leaderboard, though, it is KP21 up there with 179. He is the runaway leader with UK in CA in second spot, with Newton Abbey up there in third. I am a big mover. I'm up 15 spots. Oh, yeah, 15 points to number 12. I told you. Believe in the project. Believe in the mystery. That is me, the prediction king. Of course, if you see your name in there, smash the old subscribe. To do that, just use this link right here, right now. Of course, it's on the screen. cut.4/champ2425 if you haven't done so already. But we're now looking forward to the next round of games, and these are those. And they're coming at you this coming weekend, starting with a Friday night trip. And what a banger over at Bramall Lane. So let's get into it then, shall we? Of course, Sheffield United under Chris Wilder. They sit second right now, 35 points to their name. Unbeaten in at least the last 6 games. Up against Reggie Labree's Sunderland, who are sitting in 4th right now, 33 points for them. They are winless in 5, but they are the draw kings, though. though, picking up 5 draws in succession, and they are unbeaten in at least the last 6 games. 21 times they've played since 1994, 8 wins for the Blades, 10 wins for the Mackhams, and there's been 3 draws between the two sides. Gavin Ward will referee this match at Bramall Lane. The last time they played at this venue, it was a 2-1 win for Sheffield United, who have just lost once against Sunderland over the last 5, and that one loss was in the EFL Cup back in September 2019. Sheffield United on the back of that 3-0 win over Oxford. Sunderland on the back of that 0-0 draw against West Bromwich Albion. The bookies, though, for this one, they go even Stevens for you, Sheffield United. 11-4 is your Sunderland, and 12-5 is the draw. I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing it one-way traffic. Sunderland are not in this race. Going to go with a 2-1 win, and Sheffield United to take all 3 points, kicking us off to a fantastic weekend as we head into the month of December. But not there yet. 30th of November beckons it is, and it will be Middlesbrough up against Hull City, Rovers' last opponents, and of course Rovers' next opponents, of course, after this game. Borough under Michael Carrick, they sit 6th right now, 27 points to their name. They scored 15 goals in the last 4 games combined. They also scored 15 goals in the last 3 games prior to the last one. I'll talk about that in a minute. But Borough, 58% form for them right now, 2 defeats in the last 6. Against Hull, Andy Dawson in the dugout for the interim as they try to get a new coach. That's 4 defeats on the spin. They are 22nd with 15 points in the campaign. They have played each other 27 times since 2007. 12 wins for the Borough, 10 wins for Hull. 5 draws between the two sides, including the last time they played at the MKM back in April. But the last time they played at the Riverside, it went in favour of Hull back in December 2023, around about this time last year. Borough on the back of that 1-0 loss at home to Blackburn Rovers. Yes, I've called it, sort of. As for Hull, won 2 games without a goal. In fact, they just got 1 goal in the last 4 games combined, but 4 defeats on the spin. Got the axe for Timmy Walter. The odds here, 25-12 on is your Borough, 7-2 is, of course, the draw, 5-1 is your long shots. It is Hull City. They won't win this one. They'll probably win the next one because it's Blackburn Rovers. Next up, we have Oxford up against Millwall coming at you at the Kazam. That's right. Early kickoff again. Oxford under Des Buckingham on a bit of grim form right now. They're down to 18th with 17 points for the campaign. 5 defeats at the last 6. Up against Millwall under Neil Harris. They are 9th. 24 points for the campaign. They are unbeaten, though, in the last 6 matches, but back-to-back draws. Now, these two sides have played 8 times since 1993. 4 wins for the U's. And then, of course, the Millwall picked up 3 wins, and there's been 1 draw between the two sides. The last time they played at this very venue was back in August 2019 in the EFL Cup. Oxford coming out on top with a penalty shootout victory. The last time they played at this venue in the league, though, it was in League One back in October 2016. Millwall coming out on top on that one. Oxford, though, 3-0 loss to Sheffield United most recently, and that was this past midweek. Millwall, back-to-back draws, pick up a draw against Stoke, a couple games back, then Sunderland at home on just this other day. The bookies for this one, Millwall are 23-20. They are the visitors. 9-4 is your hosts. 5-2 is the draw. Oxford desperate for a win. They might just get it here, guys. 2-1 winners. Oxford taking the points. Millwall getting absolutely nothing. Off the Vicarage Road, we go with the Greater London affair as Watford under Tom Cleverley take on QPR under Mati Kofientes. So at Vicarage Road, and Watford are in 5th right now, 29 points to their name. They're on 75% form right now, just 1 defeat in the last 6. QPR 1 win in the last 6. They're on 42% form. Now, they have played 27 times since 1998, 13 wins for Watford, 9 wins for QPR. There's been 5 draws between the two sides, but the last time they played at this venue was a 4-0 stuffing by Watford back in August 2023. I remember the day, of course, Watford opened up a can of whoop-ass on QPR. They did the double over QPR last season, picking up the win also at Loftus Road. The Hornets on the back of that 1-0 win over Bristol City. QPR on the back of that 2-0 loss to Cardiff. But, the 2-0 win over Cardiff. What am I saying? So they got the tails up right now. 20-17 on is your Watford, 29-10. Your QPR, 13-5. The draw. Going to back the Hornets here, guys. 2-1 winners as well. 3 points, denting the Kofientes mood train there in full tracks. Then we'll go over the game of the day, and I'll be there. Not there, I'll be here. I'll be doing the watch along. It'll be Rovers. It'll be Leeds. It'll be live right here, of course. It's at Ewood Park. Lewis Smith already classed as the referee. Rovers under John Eustace. Back-to-back wins. Not only back-to-back wins, back-to-back away wins. But of course, bring it back to Ewood Park, which has been a bit of a bumpy path of late. They sit 8th in the table, 25 points to the name. Up against Leeds and Daniel Farker. They're coming into this on 3 wins on the bounce. They sit top, 35 25 points to the name. And they have played each other 38 times since 1993. 13 wins for Rovers, 16 wins for Leeds. There's been 9 draws between the two sides. They did play each other at Ewood Park back around about this time last year. It was a 2-0 win for Leeds. That's back in 9th of December 2023. However, don't forget, we did beat them at Ellen Road with a 1-0 win. In fact, the last 4 matches have not gone in favour for the home side, but that does include a friendly. Leeds, of course, are more likely to win this game. They've picked up 4 wins at the last 6. And they're coming in on the back of goal-scoring exploits. They've scored, 9 goals in the last 3 games combined. Rovers, though, on back-to-back wins. Last time they were at this venue, they did lose to Stoke. It's actually been at least 3 games without a goal at Ewood Park for Rovers. The odds, though, for this one, 16-5 is your Blackburn, 5-4 on is your Leeds, 11-4 is your draw. I'm going to go down that same road, though, guys. I'm going down that same road. This might not be what the Rovers fans want to hear, but I'm going to go with a 0-0. I'll take it. I'll take another point in the bag. This is, of course, a free hit. Nobody expected anything to get from the Borough game. We got not only a point, but we got more than that. So I would have taken 2 points from Borough and Leeds. So free hit, go for broke, have fun, but just don't get tonked, please. Morale we needed, because we've got Hull next. Meanwhile, Bristol City are up against Plymouth coming at you at Thrashton Gate. That's right. Bristol City, 42% form for them right now. Just 1 win in the last 4. They are sit 12th right now, 22 points to the name. Up against Wayne Rooney's Plymouth. They are 20th with 17 points to the name. They just got lost once, though, in the last 4. If you want to look at it a different way, they've won once in the last 6. 17 times they've played since 2002. 10 wins for Bristol City, 4 wins for Plymouth. Argyle has been 3 draws between the two sides. The last time they played at this venue was a 4-1 win for Bristol City back in September 2023. Bristol City have won back-to-back over Plymouth last season. They did the double, but they're coming into this on the back of successive losses, successive games without a goal. Plymouth on the flip side, a bit of a trouncing last time around at Norwich. They're still on the road this time around, so I'm expecting one-way traffic here. Bristol City 2-1 on for the victory. 19-4 is your Plymouth. 10-3 the draw. We're going to go with a victory for Bristol City, aren't we? 3-1 win, more goals, and that will give good news for the Robins. It'll be terrible news for the Green Army. Let's go Coventry against Cardiff. Will this be the first game for the Frank Lampard era at Coventry? It doesn't look so at the moment as of recording, but 50% form for Coventry right now. They sit 17th winless in the last 4 matches. They've only got 17 points for the campaign. Up against Cardiff, they're 21st, 16 points to the name, also winless in the last 4. Omar Ritza still in the dugout for Cardiff. Not sure if he's got the job on a permanent basis or not, but the form book is not in his favour. But they're going to take place at the Ricoh Arena. It's one of the 3 o'clock kickoffs, and they've played each other 29 times since 2003. 7 wins for Coventry, 14 wins for Cardiff. There's been 8 draws. The last time they played at this very venue was a 2-1 win for Cardiff, who did the double over Coventry last season, both home and away. They've only lost once against them in the last 5. Coventry, though, on the back of that 2-0 loss to Burnley. That was at Burnley. Last time they're at this venue, they picked up a 2-2 draw against a prolific Sheffield United. Meanwhile, Cardiff on the back of that loss against QPR, which was a bit of a morale-denting loss there. 11-8 on is your Coventry, 16-5 is your Cardiff, 3-1 is your draw. I think Cardiff they turned a corner a little bit, but I think they need to make a positive move in the managerial market. Going to go with a win for Coventry, which will be a relief for them. But concerns raise their head against Cardiff. What a game we have at Carrow Road! It's Norwich, it's Luton, it's coming at you with Jonas Tulloch right back in the thick of things. Of course, in 10th spot right now with 22 points to the name. Up against Luton Town under Rob Edwards, they are 16th with 18 points to the name. They played each other 14 times since 1995. They've got 7 wins apiece, and there's been 0 draws at this time. Norwich, though, coming at you on the back of a 6-1 win against Plymouth. Luton losing to Leeds last time around. Shit on the road, good at home. That's the Luton mantra right now. Of course, back-to-back heavy away defeats. They conceded 8 goals on the road in the last 2 games combined. However, last time they played at this venue, it was a 1-0 win for Luton back in October 2022. Luton have only lost once against Norwich over the last 5. And that was at this venue, though, back in March 2021. The bookies, though, for this, we're looking at Norwich 11-10 for the victory, 21-10 is your Luton, 27-10 is the draw. Going to go with the bookies here. Going to go with Luton. They're scoring goals at home. They look phenomenal when they get going. 4-2, Bobby Dazzler. And, of course, Norwich right back in the thick of things, and Luton still scratching their heads for some form. Meanwhile, Preston North End up against West Bromwich Albion coming at you over at Deepdale. What did they do with Freddie Woodman? The curious or the dubious case of Freddie Woodman, the goalkeeper. Well, he ain't going to be there anyway. He's going to be suspended. Opportunity knocks for the backup goalkeeper there at North End, who are 19th right now. 17 points for the campaign. But, yeah, winless in at least the last 7 games up against West Brom under Carlos Comerhan, who are the draw kings, picking up 5 draws at the last 6. But they're also unbeaten in at least the last 6. They sit 7th with 27 points to the name. Now, these two sides have played 23 times since the year 2000. Just 7 wins for the Nobbers, 14 wins for the Baggies, and there's been 2 draws between the two sides. The last time they played at this venue, it was a 4-0 win for West Bromwich Albion. In fact, West Brom have won 3 in the bounce against Preston. They've scored, 7 goals in the last 3 games combined. They like coming here. Did I say 7 goals? I meant 9 goals in the last 3 games combined. Wow. So they like coming here. They've got 3 clean sheets on the bounce as well at this venue. West Brom on the back of that draw against Sunderland. Preston on the back of that draw against Stoke. The odds here, 9-5 is your Preston, 11-8 is your West Brom, 5-2 the draw. Going to go with another one. Yep, another draw, which doesn't do anybody any good right now. Frustrates the Preston fans. West Brom still be happy. They're up there. They're just treading water right now. Meanwhile, we go to Stoke, and it is the Potters up against the Freaks at the Bet365 Stadium. Not just for Stoke, coming at you at 58% form. He's unbeaten now in the last 5 games. Getting a bit of form, making him difficult to beat. Up against Burnley under Scotty Parker, 3rd in the table, 33 points. They're unbeaten in the last 4. They've won 3 in the bounce as well. They have played each other 25 times since 1994. We've got 7 wins for Stoke, 10 for Burnley, 8 draws between the two sides. But the last time they played at this venue, back in December 2022, it was a 1-0 win for Burnley. And that's right. Burnley are unbeaten against Stoke over the last 5, 3 wins and a couple of draws. And it's been pretty airtight at the back for Burnley. 4 games without conceding a goal and 3 wins on the spin. Up against Stoke, though, 3 draws on the spin to show that they are hard to break down, but also hard to be clinical and finish off games. The odds, though, for this one, we're looking at 2-1 is your Stoke, 13-10 is your Burnley, 12-5 is the draw. This could go in favour of Stoke. It could, because Burnley just do enough to get the 3 points. And hey, you know what? If that gets them promoted, I'll take it all day long if I was them, but I'm not, because I'm sane. Those guys are insane. But it's going to be another away win here for Burnley, 2-0 winners. And, of course, remaining in the mixer for the automatics. Meanwhile, we go to Wales, that's right, as Swansea take on Pompey, that's right, coming out at the Liberty Stadium. Luke Williams, Swansea on 50% form for them right now, 1-3, lost 3 over the last 6. Up against Portsmouth under John Mousinho, can't get a game right now. Of course, their tails should be up following their last match, which was the win against Preston. But they've, of course, postponement at Ewood and, of course, postponement at Fratton Park. But they take on Swansea for the 4th time since 2009. Previous 3, 1-1, lost 1 and drawn 1. But of course, coming into this on 42% form, that's right. And of course, that draw was the last time they played. It was back in April 2011 in the Championship at Fratton Park. The last time they played at this venue, though, in Wales, it was a 2-1 win for Portsmouth, that's right. Pompey, though, on the back of that 3-1 win over Preston. Swansea on the back of that big win on the road against Derby. The bookies, though, for this 10-7 on is your Swansea, 3-1. The draw, 7-2, your Portsmouth. Going to go for the Swans to take at least a point, maybe more. But I think Portsmouth will be happy to be playing, and they might surprise us here with not only the point, but they also could snatch all 3 because Bishop is back. Confidence should be okay. I think the postponements have really done them in the head. In the end. But next up, we wrap it up on the 1st of December. We get into the Christmas spirit. It's Derby. It's Sheffield Wednesday. It's, of course, coming at you at Pride Park. Paul Warren for Derby. They're down at 15th right now, 28 points for the campaign. Just 1 win in the last 6. They're 42% form for them right now. Sheffield Wednesday and Danny Roll, they are 13th, 22 points for their name as well. Just 1 defeat, though, in the last 4 at the moment. They play each other 40 times since 1996. 19 wins for Derby, 6 wins for Sheffield Wednesday, 15 draws between the two sides. The last time they played at this venue, it was a 0-0 draw back in December 2022. In fact, the last 2 at this venue both ended up all square. I prefer the game that was on the back of the May 21. It was a free thriller at Pride Park. But Derby on the back of that 2-1 loss at home to Swansea. So their home form taking a bit of a swipe here. In fact, they haven't won in the last 3 matches, at least the last 3 matches, drawing with Hull, drawing with Plymouth, and now losing to Swansea. Meanwhile, Wednesday on the back of that morale-boosting 2-0 win over Hull. The bookies for this, 27-20 is your Derby, 9-5 is your Wednesday, 5-2 is your draw. Could go either way, but I think I'm going with Derby to nick it. Just the 1-0 win. Back to anyways. And that completes my picks. There they are. They're all in there in all their glory. Please subscribe. Please smash the like. Catch you later. We'll be back, of course, for more games. Hopefully a bit more composure next week with a single max week. But until then, subscribe. Catch you later. We're done.